Do confirm me if my screen
Yep,
is visible as well.
look,
Yep.
look and sound good, and it looks like you're just starting the screen share, Parveen.
Yep. Thanks, Matt. Thank you.
Got it.
So, uh, everyone, let me just do a quick introduction of myself. I am Praveen, and I'm doing this consulting and training for more than 23 years now, and currently working as a Microsoft certified trainer for more than 13 years, working with global clients based on the different technologies requirement, official programs, role-based programs, the applied skill program, the one that we are doing, and of course, do the tailor-made programs as well. Do the consulting whenever it is required. So plus this program that we are just talking today, it's about the AZ2007, the applied skills program. Couple of things that has been shared by the Matt already, the applied skills, a program that helps you to test your credentials, but these credentials are not based on some multiple choice questions. These credentials are tested based on some hands-on experience that you have. If you are already holding any of the Microsoft certification, so you might have the idea that most of the Microsoft role-based exams, like if you are a developer, so you might have seen the AZ204 or 204 is there. If you are doing some DevOps, so the AZ400 is there. They are the role-based exams that we have. And these exams are having the multiple choice questions. But in the applied skill exam, you will be getting the 2 hours to complete some task. So there will be case study, and based on that case study, you have to apply your experience, your working experience with the tool for which you are just applying. And you have to complete some case study. Based on that case study completion, how efficiently you are just creating, Microsoft checks and evaluate your skills. 2 hours of time in case you are unable to complete your applied skills time in the dedicated time, you are unsuccessful due to not matching the skill set that is required, then you can try these exam after 72 hours. Retry is there, then there is no cost associated. Another thing for the applied skills, currently Microsoft is providing 33 different applied skill exams. So 37, not 33, sorry for that. 37 applied skill exams are there. Based on your skill set, your profile, your working experience, you can just choose these applied skills as well. I hold 18 certification out of the 37 right now. Microsoft keep on improving and launching the new applied skill exams as well, right? Keep an eye into the link that has been shared earlier by the Carla as well. So we have the applied skill credentials, and you can just look for what type of skill set that you have, and accordingly you can just prepare yourself for these applied skills. Today's we will talk about the GitHub integration by using the Copilot environment. But in this case, this is just a webinar, 3 hours, not the time that we will be able to touch everything that is required you to complete the complete certification of your applied skills for this one as well, right? But you will be able to understand that how this Copilot will work within the your development environment by integrating the GitHub Copilot environment. So if you just want to complete this skill set, you want to earn this title, look for our catalog that has been shared by the Carla as well. So you can just register for a full-fledged program that will help you to earn these titles. Duration, validity, some question is there in the chat. So the duration of this exam is 2 hours, 120 minutes. Validity, currently, this exam doesn't expire. Like most of the role-based exam, they have a validity of 1 year, right? But we currently these applied skill, they are not getting expired. So there is no expiry date for these exams as well, right? So if you want to quickly see, I'll just share my screen, my browser. So here we go, a quick overview how you will be able to get these certifications. So link is there, already been shared. In case you just want, I will just share it once again. This is applied skills from the Microsoft, right? And this is the complete catalog that we have. Yeah. Yes. And the training catalog has been shared by the card that is there in the chat window, right? Once you are able to log in into your Microsoft Learn profile, let me just make it big little bit. So you should be able to see it very easily. I can simply navigate to my profile. The people who are already using the Microsoft Learn as your platform, or you are already holding some Microsoft certification, so you might be aware about this one. From this section, you can see your credentials, and if you have completed any of your applied skill exam, that will somehow look like this. So your applied skills. You can try all these exams. What are the different exams, the applied skills that you will earn, right? That will be directly coming under this one. So today we are just talking about this one. See, accelerate AI assisted development by using the GitHub Copilot. Okay. Now, if I just go to my credentials, right, it will just launch your certificate, your applied skills, your credentials ID, when you have earned it, online verified, and of course, it doesn't have any expiry so far, right? And now, because now it is your credentials, you want to bind it with your LinkedIn and so on, the way you have the role-based certification, same thing applies here as well. See, share and you can utilize it. 2 hours of assessment, complete the case study, two, three case studies will be there, and you have to apply your hands-on experience interacting with your GitHub Copilot to earn the title, the one that I just shared with you. Today, we will talk about how you can interact with this Copilot within the GitHub environment. Because when we say the Copilot, the first thing comes into the mind, like we are having some AI assistant that will help me to generate some content. But when I'm talking about the GitHub Copilot, it means the idea is like I will be generating the code. I will be explaining the code. I will be handling the error. I will be fixing the bugs within my code. I will be moving my code from one technologies to the other technologies, like one programming language to the other programming language. Idea is like I will be able to improve my code quality as well. And in case you want to improve the readability of your code, you want to improve the performance of your code, then also you can do with the help of the GitHub Copilot. You might be doing your unit testing manually. It is having the capability to do this unit testing by using the Copilot itself. You will be able to implement and improve the security of your code. The Copilot within the GitHub will help you to perform it. You have a big code base for you, and you would like to generate the documentation for your entire code. GitHub Copilot is having the capability to understand your entire code base. It will help you to suggest you some recommendations. It can run your program. It will suggest you the improvements as well, and you can easily apply it. Remember, don't fully rely on the GitHub Copilot environment. Whenever it is generating different codes snippet, or you are just generating the entire program as well, the entire application is getting generated from here. This is your job to ensure that it is not your entire code is validated, it is writing the correct type of the code, because you might have seen a disclaimer in any of the AI based tools, like AI can make mistake, it's learning and it is adopting, right? So don't fully rely, verify, check it, then commit your changes into your repository. And when I'm saying doing this entire repository, making your pull and push request, of course, the GitHub Copilot is having the capability to do that as well. So it helps you to create a new project, not only create the project, before creating a project, if you want to plan something, right? You want to plan like how the architecture should go on. What are the things that need to be involved while designing your application? The GitHub Copilot is having the capability. Now let's see these things in action, like how you will be able to perform different type of operations. You will explore the capability of your GitHub Copilot in your dev environment, right? Okay, right. Let's see how it can be implemented. To use this one, what we required, actually, I'll be just sharing my small presentation. I'll not doing a big presentation here, of course. The whole idea is to perform all these operations with the help of some demonstration. Presentation will just give you some basic context or the idea, the capability that your Copilot can is having, right? See, tool, what are the different development tools that are available? Of course, we will be focusing more into the GitHub, not the OpenAI or the Microsoft, because OpenAI is having their own tool, like the Codex is there. You can take the benefit of the Codex as well. Microsoft is using these different tools for their development. So directly integrating with your Copilot, working with your the Visual Studio Code, working with multiple tools over there. You have the Foundry that you will be able to introduce it. And while working with your Foundry environment, you will be playing with a large variety of the different models in the background, right? So of course, these are the things that are available. We will talk about how to use the GitHub Copilot. That is our idea, and that is the agenda of this webinar as well. We'll just talk about the type of the account that we required. Of course, the account type that we are focusing, we can use any of your enterprise account, your work email ID, that is having some enterprise GitHub environment in the background, or even you can use your personal account as well. Personal account where you have the Git access free of cost available with your pull request, and the push request can be maintained. You will be able to work with your actions. Benefits are there. You will be getting some limited amount of the time to run your pull and push request over there. So because it is a free, so it is having some limitations as well. Then not only taking the benefit of the repository version controlling system and do your DevOps implementation, like working with different type of the actions, deploying your resources, working with your branches. Along with this, the Copilot, the primary component that we are about to discuss. The Copilot free is also available. Of course, because it is a free, it will be having the limitations like what actions it can perform and how much tokens you will be able to consume in a window time, right? So it will be like you will be having some amount like 24 hours of window, or if you're using a free account, how much maximum token, what is the capacity that you will be getting for a 30 days of duration as well. That limitation is there. But if you are working as a freelancer, you are independent developer, and you want to take the benefit of the Copilot, not only the enterprise, we are having the individual plans from the GitHub Copilot as well. So as an individual, there are pro plans that are available that you can buy. That is not very expensive at all. They are uh, very, you can say not very expensive, but not very cheap as well, right? So you will be able to access your Copilot features with the help of the GitHub as well. So different plans, subscription plans that are there. After you having a GitHub account, you hold a free account for the GitHub Copilot, or you're using any of the paid subscription as well, then you can start interacting with your the GitHub Copilot environment. Different ways to interact with this one. The first thing that you can do within the browser itself, right? Within the browser, what we will be able to do, I'll just say this is my github.com, right? I'm just writing the GitHub environment. By using this GitHub environment, you will be able to easily write down, or you will be able to connect with your own repository system, right? Okay, this is my GitHub environment. I will just simply zoom out, right? Here we go. What we will be able to do, this is the GitHub, might be, most of you are already familiar if you are from the development background, right? You might be using the GitHub on a regular basis as well. Once you have a Copilot subscription in your account, right, you might see there is a Copilot within this Git environment. See, chat with Copilot. Using this chat option, you will be navigating to a different URL, and this is github.com/copilot. And by using this option, you will be able to interact with this. See, the Copilot is there. This is within the browser itself, right? You can use the Copilot interface. You will be able to ask. You have a couple of things that you can do within the browser. Ask means it is like a Q&A. You keep on asking, it will keep on responding you. You say, I want to fix some error. You are having some error, or I am just trying to write a program based on my requirement. Help me to write a program over there. Refactor the code for me. It will do all those things step by step. You ask, it will do. You ask, it will do. So two-way communication is required. That is the ask mode. These are the different modes that we have. In this web interface, you have two different modes, ask and agent. Agent means you can just provide the complete series of tasks like create a new function, integrate with your current application, do the build for you, create and run the application, create a test for that, and validate your result. It will just do all those things for you. But whenever it is running any of the script, because that script might execute some executable files on your computer, like if it is a node, so the node.js will run. If it is a Java, so Java exe is going to be triggered. If it is the .NET, so the .NET exe is going to be triggered. If it is your other programs, the technology that you're using, accordingly, the SDK, their runtime need to be executed because that is going to be executed. So it might require you to ask for the permissions as well. If you just allow it, it will trigger it. And the permissions can be customized as well. It will be like you keep on asking whenever it require, you will be prompting for the permission, you allocate the permission, it keeps on moving. But other option is like you can allow it for the entire session as well. Like session means I have launched this interface, I am interacting with my GitHub Copilot environment, so this is called as your one session. One session, whatever the conversation you will do, that is considered as a one session until you start a new conversation with your GitHub Copilot. If you'll start a new conversation, that means a new session is going to be started for you, right? Then different settings will be applied to the new session as well. If you are using the Copilot within the web portal, interacting with your GitHub environment, so you will be able to interact with your different type of the repository as well. So whatever the repositories that you have within your GitHub account, it can interact with that. All right. And based on those different repository, you will be able to ask the Copilot, okay, write the code, debug the code, do this thing within the browser. Everything will work. Excuse me. So within the browser, all these things can be implemented as well. You want to make the changes directly into a different type of branch, right? It is the main branch, but if you have multiple branches concept like your feature branches, you will be able to push these changes, commit these changes into the other branches as well, right? So it can be integrated from here. Few more things. You want to explain what this current repository is all about? Some questions. You want to improve the test coverage because it might be having the unit test or the test cases are there. You want to improve. You want to create a plan like how to improve the efficiency of this entire repository where you are interacting right now. So you can create a plan for this one. Then this section is all about the models because this is the GitHub environment Copilot interface. So you will be able to use these different type of the models as well, right? Inbuilt models are there. See how much token it will consume? 3x, three time modes. Cloud Cloudera Opus 4.5, 3x, three times more consumption. 1x, one token you can say. This is three tokens that it will consume in a one single request as well. So every different you can say the model is having the different type of the capabilities. And to get this capability, what you can explore, you can ask the Copilot as well. Like what are the different uh, you features in terms of these different type of the models as well. So you can just ask this question to the Copilot and it will give you a list detailed comparison about different models and their features and what they can do. Then based on that, you can make a selection like which type of model that needs to be selected. If you are using the auto option, what will happen? First of all, consumption is like one. Based on the complexity of your prompt or the task that it need to be performed, what it will do, it will automatically select any of the model. Even though if it is like the Opus 4.6, it says like 3x, but in automatic mode, it will cost you only the one. right? One time, not three times, because auto mode is enabled. So it is having the capability to automatically switch between the different type of models that is required for your execution of your program. This is within the browser that you will be able to use. Along with this one, what we can do, this is just a small interface. Of course, it is always interact with your repository that you have. You will be able to use it, right? Can we do something different from here? Can I just perform some more things? If I'm into the agent repository, if you are using the ask without repository also, I will be able to ask the question. So it will act as a regular copilot then. You can even generate the code, but along with this one, it will help you to answer any of the question from where based on the model that we have selected. Because when you're using the ask mode, what we have, a limitation is purely based on your subscription, guys. Not okay. That is not based on the browser or the IDE that you will be using, right? That is not on top of this one. When you're using an ask mode, you are not using the repository. So see, we have more options, more models are there. See, more models are there. See, Gemini is there, Cloud is there, Grok should be there. Yeah, Grok is also there, right? We have more things, but in the ask mode only, not in the agent mode. Agent mode is having only these limitations, right? That is the current version, you can say. Later on, might be you see that there are more models will come, but currently in the agent mode, this is what you will be able to see. Even though I'm using the ask mode, few example, I can simply ask something. It can be related to your project. It can be related to see, we'll be able to interact with your agent, create a new issue for your repository or the project where you are working right now. And we are having the Spark as well. This will help you to create because it requires some more things. See, Pro Plus subscription is required. It will create your more computation power is there, more credits you will be having, the tokens you will be having, and see full stack intelligent tab in Islam. You just ask a prompt and it will just write the entire thing for you. Entire application will be created in few minutes. Yes, we have subscription to models. No, subscription is not relying, your models are not relying on the subscription. Every subscription will be having the similar type of model, only your consumption rate will be different in every type of subscription plan, like how much token, what type of operations you will be able to perform, but the model will remain same, right? Free version might have the limitation, but not for the paid subscriptions. Okay. I'll say, what are the different models available in GitHub Copilot, right? So I'm just asking this question only, available in GitHub Copilot. So I'm not interacting with my any of your so the repository, generic questions I'm about to ask, right? So this is there. See, it is just telling you GitHub Copilot support multiple models, general availability, retire, fallback, supported model in the GitHub. You can click on this one. It will navigate to the documentation and give you the idea. And you can just explore for the different plans as well. What are the different plans from your GitHub Copilot that you will be able to use? See, free premium request 300 request 300. Pro plan cost you 10 USD per month, right? Pro plus plan cost you 39 USD. Copilot for student is free of cost available, right? Cloud agents are not there in the free, right? You can only review the code in the VS Code environment, right? Third party agents are not interacted, right? So these are the features that you can always check and you can plan your subscription accordingly. So what I'm doing, I'm just putting this URL in the chat. So based on your requirement, you can just plan which version of the Copilot will be the right choice in your environment, right? Based on your requirement, you can choose the tool from here. That is there. Now, so that is just a simple task that what you are doing with the help of any of the Copilot, whether you're using the Microsoft Copilot, you are working with your Cloud, you're working with your Gemini, you are working with your Grok or Perplexity. These are the similar questions that you will be doing. But the actual magic that this do is like not from here. Let's use the Visual Studio Code as our tool. So what we are about to do is like we'll be using this Visual Studio Code. Because whether you are working as a developer who is writing the Python program, VS Code is having the capability to interact with your Python, right? Because this is a open source environment, works with the help of the extension. So it doesn't matter what type of programming language, technology, stack that you're using, it can interact with any of these platforms tools as well. If your operating system supports that stack, that is supported by the VS Code as well. And to work with any of these resources, you just need to get the right type of extension as well. So we have this extension. You can just search for the your program, what type of technology you are using, install that tool, excuse me, install that tool, and you are ready to go. But when you talk about, I'm just want to interact with the Copilot as well. In that case, the requirement is like you must have the GitHub Copilot extension that need to be installed. VS Code, everybody might be familiar with this one, right? Limitations, somebody asked this question, did I missed? Browser version, ask is there, agent is there, planning is not there. You won't be able to do anything if you want to work on a project, but that project is available on your local computer. That is not in the GitHub repository. You won't be able to use those projects by the browser because browser will only work if you have the repository. Your repository is managed in the GitHub environment, then only you will be able to work. Otherwise, it requires you to interact with from your browser. If it is local, then we must have the VS Code. First thing, have the VS Code, right? And then you must install the Copilot from here, the GitHub Copilot, right? Search for the GitHub Copilot. See, you just install this extension powered by GitHub. Make sure that you are talking about powered by the GitHub, not anybody else who created these extensions for you, right? So make sure this GitHub Copilot Chat is installed. Once you have this GitHub Copilot Chat tool available on our computer, what we will be able to do, right? There are different ways that we can use this tool to interact with your GitHub Copilot. One option, we can always go into this view section and we have this chat window available. Control, Alt, and I, the shortcut. This will only appear if you have installed the GitHub Chat extension on your browser. If it is installed, you will be able to see this interface. Let me just create a new one. See, a new chat is required. I just want to create a new chat. Now look into the bottom of this section. We are having the agent. It can be an agent mode, like do the automatic things. Things will run in the background. You give the instruction, leave your desk, have a cup of tea, do some other project work, and meanwhile, it will write the code, it will test the code, it will verify it. Based on your instruction, it will do the job for you, right? Keep it running in the background. That is the agent. Ask, you keep on asking, it's keep on asking, right? That I would like to interact with this one. You just need to you put your inputs every time. Based on your input, it will do the task for you, and then if you verify it, then you move to the next step. If that is the scenario, you can use this ask mode is very useful whenever you want to do any troubleshooting, you want to write some patch of the code, you want to fix any code over there, some new functionality need to be introduced, right? Small things need to be added by providing the reference to any of the files that you're working right now. Chat mode is best. And then we have this plan as well. Plan based on my requirement. I'm just planning to create a project by using some XYZ technology, right? Idea is to develop some application with some API in the background, connecting with some sort of databases over there, and I would like to create that application. what this can do, it can create a plan for me, right? Like a small example, I'm using this plan option, and then we have the auto mode as well, like what type of the models that we will be able to use. Auto 10% discount, cloud opus more, what are other models that it supports, that is there. See, there are zero as well. See, each chat counts 0x towards your premium request quota. So it will not cost me actually if I'll use this one, ChatGPT 4.1. Free, not going to cost me. Okay, I'll say this one. And if you want to make it less expensive, 10% discount with auto mode because you have some limitations. So I can go with the zero. If I'll just make a premium request, that means consuming more capacity, doing a lot of business logic that need to be defined, then it is not going to cost me. I can just create some plan. Okay, let's say that I am planning to create a CRM system similar to Dynamics 365 CRM. Create a plan for this and suggest the best, even though I can choose, like I would like to work with Node.js, React, TypeScript, C Sharp. You can just select, or I can say, okay, and suggest the best tech stack that we can use. So I'm just asking to let's create a plan for this one. So this is a chat interaction, right? So I'm just using this chat, creating a plan for this one. It has taken my request as an input from here, and now based on my prompt, it is about to suggest me. See, Dynamics 365 CRM alternative. It is slow because 0x. See, it is not costing me. So the feeds, what features it will be having, it is just creating sales management, customer management, marketing, transaction management, reporting, workflow, different type of roles. Technology, it says like we can work with, see, C Sharp, Node.js, Java, REST API, authentication open, workflow, front end, React, UI library, material, databases, relational, MongoDB, search, Elasticsearch, right? Cloud, where it can be deployed, right? Containerization, CI/CD, gateway. Now it has created a plan for me, right? Steps, requirement and architecture, get the details, core modules that it is will be having, authentication and security that need to be integrated, front-end development, responsive UI, back-end development for your REST API, right? And extensibility feature like creating the plugin based on your requirement, you will be able to plug in any piece of code, right? Testing, deployment, CI/CD things, verify, and next thing. Do you want to go with the low code, no code, AI integration, compliance features, right? Please let me know if you want to tailor the plan for a specific industry scale or the integration scenario. If the plan looks good for you, you can ask for the next. Answer this question. What is my type of industry, right? The, the number of the customer we are expecting, the type of the integration with other different tools that are required, then it will create that plan. It will enhance that plan. Now just think about a scenario that you're working for your enterprise and there is a need of creating a complete POC, and you want to design based on you have received a request and you have to design a POC, and you need to suggest like how it is going to work. Think about using the plan feature within the GitHub Copilot that will help you to suggest the right type of things. Keep on use the plan mode and keep on enhancing, keep on modifying it based on your inputs as well. So I'll say we would like to use the Entra ID for authorization and authentication. So it will just help me to enhance my plan. So it is going to be integrated because currently I'm in a plan mode. That's more important. See at the bottom, I'm in plan mode right now. So it says like if you want, This is how it is going to work. See, Enter ID, Active Directory, robust solution for authentication. See, user authentication, role-based. Next step, design your flows, register your app. No, it is just telling me the steps like how it is going to work for me. Would you like to create a detailed step for Enter ID integration with this one in your tech stack? Yeah, I can say yes. Create step by step guide for this. Even I know, right, how to get it done, but I'm just asking you to provide me. Yes, create step by step guide for this. And I would like to use the C sharp stack, or you can say we would like to use the .NET Core stack with React, right? I'm just saying this is my requirement. Let's see what you think about this one. And accordingly, it will suggest me how you should be able to proceed ahead with this plan. So that is my planning thing that is there within your environment. Okay, so it will just take some time. No, it is just exploring. It is doing a research work actually. So this time it is doing a research. Like based on this input, what we have done previously, we just say that this is my CRM request first. Then we say the enter ID need to be integrated. On top of this one, the steps need to be created with .NET and the React. This is what you will be able to do. See, enter ID integration plan, backend .NET Core, frontend React, right? So it is just providing you the steps, relevant files that it will use, verified. So if you say, if you want detailed code sample or configuration for any of the steps, if you are looking for any particular step or you want to start with the code, you can do that. So you can say, okay, let's start the implementation. That is the next step that you will be able to do it. If I want to create a CRM system, let's say, it will help me to, if I have the amount of, you can say, the right amount of the plan with me and the right amount of the tokens and the premium request in my account, I will just say what I will be able to do. I will be able to design this entire Dynamics 365 CRM alternate within a day. So one day it will take based on my input, verifying all those features, testing each and everything. First phase will be ready within a day, right? So 8 hours, if you have the right plan with you, within 8 hours, this will be ready. And then you keep on improving, keep on enhancing these all features within this environment, right? So that is the capability of this GitHub Copilot environment. Now let's see if I just want to create some applications directly from here, how it is going to be started. So from the plan now, what I'll say, okay, let's use this ask mode. One-to-one interaction actually. I'll ask the question, it will help me to just set up the things for me, right? I'll say, let's start developing this application now, right? So my prompt is, let's start working with this one, right? Okay, I'm about to say, let's start now. Now let's see how it is gonna do the next job for me. From this one, to begin the development, it is saying create a new .NET Core application project, add the identity from here, front end will be this, initial step will be this, setting the things for me, right? Would you like step-by-step commands or code snippet for scaffolding each project and enter ID setup? If you wish, we'll create a folder and we'll be able to integrate. So guys, yes, I'll say, okay, yes, let's apply the suggestions. I'm just saying, let's apply it. Now it will just help me to get those commands as well. See, go, copy, open your terminal, execute it, and it is going to help you to create your application. Then go to the enter ID, log in with your account. If you are having a developer permissions or you are the administrator, you will be registering your application for your enter ID, getting the tenant application ID, right? Your tenant ID, getting your secret that you will just put it over here. Then this is the configuration file that it is about to create. And this is just saying, okay, we'll be able to do from here. So that's your plan. So first you plan your things and then you can ask the ask mode to let's create it. I can do it in a different way as well, right? Okay, I'll say I will be using an agent. Let's not start, I'll say create the application that we have planned. D365 CRM alternate that I just want to create it. I'm using this agent mode now. No, agent is not asking me that I will give you the instruction and I will do. What it is asking me, it is helping me that let's do this thing. So it is saying Copilot require empty folder as a workspace to continue workspace creation because now it is about to perform the action. No, it is not asking me like you do the things. I'm instructing this one. Okay, do this one. Now these are permissions actually that it needs to create a folder first of all where this project is going to be created. So I'll say where you want to allow it once, if you'll say allow once every time whenever it needs to create new file, create new folder, delete some file that is not required, running some file, it will keep on prompting you. I'll say allow in this workspace. So what is it going to do basically, right? I'll just create a folder, okay, and I'll name it as like the CRM as my folder name and say select the empty workspace. It is creating the new workspace from me, right? I'll just continue from here. It is just selecting the right tool. See, thinking. In thinking, it is just selecting which tool we should use. Do we have all these SDK installed on your computer or not? If it is unable to find those tools for you, of course, it will just help you to install the tool as well because it has been launched again. It has opened a new window for me. So I just need to retry it that create the application that we have planned. Look into the bottom right now, what it is doing. It says like it is activating and it needs the workspace to be set up, right? Continue with new workspace setup. It is just creating this workspace for me where all these operations will be able to perform. Things are currently in a queue. Terminal is launched automatically using the PowerShell, creating, generating the plan, like how to create a workspace. It says at this location, workspace will be created. It is just asking that I would like to create new files outside the workspace. This is from the default outside from the GitHub. Do you want to allow it? I'll say do it always, right? Don't ask me again and again. Not for the workspace, even for the outside the workspace as well, it will do. Now it is saying that this will be my structure. Allow me for this one because whenever it will just perform some new activity and permissions are required, you have to allocate. Now it is creating, setting up the environment, and it will just create the things from me, right? So based on my from the plan to the execution, it is getting started. In ask, it will provide you the instruction you have to do. Ask mode, very useful whenever you want to troubleshoot anything. You want to write a small piece of the code over there, right? You want to create some the use cases, unit testing need to be created, right? You want to fix your code, you want to debug your code. Ask is the best. But see, now it is about to run these commands as well. .NET, create new solution, CRM, right? And so on. I'll say, okay, allow all commands in this session right now. Don't ask me again and again because it will use this .NET command to create the project. Then it required to build that as well. It required to run those project as well. So of course, it required those permission. Now see over here towards your left, it is creating your application as well. Running this command, see if we are using the ask mode, you will be doing. But if I'm using the agent mode, right, it will do the things for you. And interesting thing, in case it found any of the challenge like unable to find anything, what it will do, it will suggest you like I need this tool, do you allow me to get the permissions to install this tool, get the data, download the required SDK or the tool directly from the internet, some extension is required. It will ask you, If you allow it, of course, it will keep on running. Now it is just creating the React front end as well. See, creating the React application. .NET Core will act as a backend for this one. API is there. Then the .NET Core is there. Now it is just saying that node command is required. So because node is running for the first time, I'm just saying always allow. That permission need to be allocated. Now it will start doing the jobs for you, right? So plan mode, ask mode, and the agent mode. Currently, we are into agent mode. So guys, if we'll just spend few hours, we will be having a complete CRM system developed in front of you, right? So that is the capability that this Copilot Studio is having. Sometime you just need to wear with this one. Sometime you need to do some troubleshooting as well. It is not about that you have to do anything, but if you understand the code, because you must always choose the right stack where you have the skill set, so that in case you just need to perform any operation, you have to just check your code manually. You have to write your own business logic as well. That capability should be there, because we do not fully rely on this AI to generate the code, because it might write the code for you, but if you don't understand the code, it can break your entire system as well. So that's very important to understand the code, what it is writing. You will be doing your refactoring, you will be optimizing your code as well. So all these things need to be handled manually. Okay, so it says like .NET Core, React front-end scaffolding process is complete. App is still installing the dependencies. Add module. If I'll continue monitoring the setup and proceed, will installation finish? Let me know if you want to prioritize any specific module or the configuration next. Now I can go into my previous one, like which module I should start, or even I can ask the agent as well, which module you think that we should be able to create first. Let's plan the creation and the developing of that particular module, because if the application is very lengthy, right, that is having numerous amount of the features that need to be integrated, so it won't be able to create all those things in a one go. It will create it phase wise. Phase one, these set of features. Phase two, these type of features. Then phase three, phase four, depends on the number of the features or the modules that need to be integrated, that needs to be added, right? So these things that you will be able to create. What all changes have to be done through GitHub if I choose to create the Copilot? In the GitHub, nothing will happen, because currently, if I'll just take this as an example, this is a local repository. This is a local folder, you can say, or the directory. There is nothing in the GitHub right now. In the GitHub, what is happening right now? You will be able to only monitor. Let me just go to my GitHub environment, right? Where is my GitHub? Hmm. I hope I shared the GitHub with you. Did I closed? I think I closed it actually, right? Here we go. Okay, I'll go to the GitHub, and there is nothing happening in my GitHub repo right now. Everything is happening within my Copilot, right? Even though the session has been started from your local computer, right? Then you will be able to see exploring model, available model from here. See the agent mode that is running. Things that has been executed from here, that is there, but the things that you have triggered from your local, that is nothing over here. It is on the local only. See? So nothing is going to be changed within this. If you go to your GitHub environment, this is Copilot, GitHub. But if you do go to your this environment, nothing is changed. Nothing has been changed so far. Yeah. Until you deploy, until you use a Git repository to store the information. But currently, it is on the local computer. Let's say it's like it has completed. What is going on? You can just ask it to complete it. Add modules folder. Once the front end setup complete, it can do. Of course, I'm not going to design this application. I'll just show you a couple of more examples to interact with your GitHub as well. Okay. So it is doing the scaffolding for me. API code has been generated. Front-end application is going to be designed. It is just installing these packages from here. Node modules is going to be installed for me that I will be able to use it. So this way, you can plan your program. You can plan the creation of your APIs, your mobile applications, Android-based application, Xamarin-based applications, Swift code you will be able to generate, any of your desktop application, web applications, right? Interacting with any of your databases that you want to create. All these things can be done from here, right? By using the GitHub Copilot environment. Of course, multiple things that we will be able to perform from here that I will just show you step by step. Let me navigate to not to this interface. I'll just take the example of my other folder. Okay. I'll just open this folder. I have some sample files that I will work on, and I'll just show you some more capabilities of the GitHub Copilot environment as well, right? That's there. This is what we just discussed right now. This is the current thing that is running right now, right? This is the current chat interaction that I have, and I will be able to see this chat interaction from here. I'll go back from here. I'll just make it small from here, right? Now, what I will do, I'll just go to my folder. This is the file explorer that we have, and I will just navigate to any of the code that we have. So I have multiple AZ2007 sample codes are there that I will use as a reference for this particular program, right? So if you want to generate some piece of code, right, how you will be able to do that? In case I just need to fix any of the error related to my program, how I will be able to do that, right? Some notification because it is using the 365 and all. That's fine. Okay. This is one of my sample over here. Now what I can do, I don't know actually what is this all in my current folder. So I'm not sure actually. Okay. Let me just open the specific solution here. I'll say open the first one. Right. I'm just launching a one single folder, not all the folders from here. So this is a folder. This is your XAML file. That means it is a desktop based application that I have, right? And it is having some definition, but I don't know actually what is it contains. So what I can do, I can use the chat window, right? So of course, it will be using the context of your current project, right? Here, I can use different type of your prompts here, like agent, add debugging, and so on. There are the different type of, you can say the extensions that are available, right? I just want to interact with my workspace right now because I want to understand what is there in this particular project. I want to understand it because I don't have any idea what this is doing, right? So I can say, okay, help me to understand my workspace. So not the workspace. Workspace is under this one now. Yeah, new workspace. Okay, doesn't work. Workspace, not new, the workspace. I want to understand this one. So I'll say explain, use my current workspace and explain the project. Let's say it works because usually it works, right? Using the @ workspace, it is interacting with my current workspace and I'm just asking to explain the project. See, it is telling me this is a window desktop application built with .NET like WPF. This is having the solution file, project file, app file. This is a sample of a demo WPF application likely used for learning or the demonstration purpose. So I will understand now that what is the core definition of my project. Now, if you just want to understand about any of the application or the program from here, let's say I have this file here that is main window.xaml.cs file. Imagine you are a .NET developer or you are a Java developer or you are a Python developer, right? Or a Node developer, okay? And you want to understand the code from here. So what you can do, I want to know about what is written in this one lengthy piece of code. I don't understand actually what is there. let's assume that we don't understand. You just open this file. As soon as you will open this file, what will happen into your code? See, it is added as a context window. Context window mean when you will be interacting with your environment, I'll say this is an ask mode, right? It has added my current because this time this is just a conversation. I will ask, it will prompt me. It will ask, it will just respond me back. I'm not doing any type of the automation. Things will run in the background in this case, just a one-to-one thing that I'm going to create. All right. After you just add the current context, so whatever the file you will open, that will be added in your context window. See, it is there. Know what I can do from here? I can simply say, okay, use this explain. Using this explain, what it will do, it will help me to explain the code of this particular file. So I'll say explain the code of this file. Now it will help me to understand the entire piece of the code that is written in this file. See, telling me window downloads a list of the web pages in parallel that is written. See, guys, even I don't know what it is doing, right? But from here, I came to know that what it is actually doing. Then byte data, lapse time, component, HTTP client, URL list, UI element, main flow, user click on the start button, right? Then the disable button is there, clear result is there. It is just doing a great job. If I have to understand this code, it might take some time for me to go into everything, look into the flow of this one, or trigger this one, or execute this program, look what is happening, then go back into the code, then understand the flow, how the things are working. But by using this explain, you can see every piece of the code has been explained for me. Now you can take the decision. If you feel like there is something that need to be changed in any of these sections over here, then of course you can just ask. This is the Copilot chat window that is in front of you. What I can do basically, I will be able to interact within your program itself. I'll just make it small now. So I have two sections available right now. One is the chat window towards your right, and we have this program open here, right? Now, let's say that by using this option, I would like to understand some of my piece of the code over there, right? I would like to explain only some piece of code, not the entire piece of code. So what I can do, I'll say I'm selecting this piece. Once you select this code, see there is a notifier here. See, by using this bulb indicator, right? What you will be able to do? You want to explain, you want to fix only the ones variable, or you want to explain the entire piece of code, or you want to rewrite, modify, or you want to review the code based on the selection. So I'll say, okay, help me to explain this piece. Now it is just taking this as a reference from here, and it will just explain this section here. See, only a piece of the code, not the entire program that you have. Now it is written. I'll just reselect this one. What I want to do, come back. It is say how this code is gonna work, key changes, this revolves around this. I'll go here, right? And if you feel like there is some error, I can see there is some error over there, right? There is a problem, implicit conversion is not there. Use your own skill set, fix the error. Come, go to the quick fix and say, fix the code for me. Now it is doing, this is called as inline editing, right? Now it will use its own skill and it is about to fix the error within your code. See, it is replacing a red line, old code, green line, the added code. If you want to accept the changes, even though click on this checks keep, or you use this keep button as well. By using this option, your code is going to be fixed. See, that error is gone now, right? If you are getting something more, right, that you want to understand why this error is coming, so we can just go back Do we have any more errors here? No, there is no error. Let's get the previous error then. I will just come here, go to this, but you don't need to select the entire piece as well. I can just come here and then say there is a icon here. I can say, okay, inline variable I can create, or I'll just say, okay, select it. Then if you see there is just a bulb icon, that is the inbuilt feature of your VS Code, right? But if you want to take the AI definition, so you see along with this bulb icon, you will be getting some sparkle. See, that is there. That is AI. That means GitHub Copilot. Now I'll say, help me to explain, right? But how I will be explaining it? What I'll do, I'll say inline modification that I would like to do. This code need to be reviewed, right? What I just want, I will be able to take the benefit of these things as well, right? I'll say modify this code, fix the attached problem. Now I can just come here. This is the inline editing. I'll just use the explain here as well. I'll say explain. And from the explain, I can simply ask why this error occurred. I can ask this question as well, that why this error is coming actually. And it will just use its own skill, why this error is occurred. Previous request is in queue where it is just trying to fix. After the fix, that is my next request has been sent. Now I'm expecting that based on my second request, like why this error is occurred, that solution, that explanation is going to come for me, right? Let's see. Wait, it will come. No, because I have accepted it. Let's go back once again. Okay. Taking the reference of this one, I can apply, I can insert, I can say insert to the terminal or say explain once again why this error has occurred, right? So I'm just asking to explain. The error occurs because method returns a task that will eventually produce an array of the integer, and see the explanation, add the summary. Yeah. So see how interesting this is, how to check the power of this Copilot. And of course, we cannot always rely on this part as well, right? So if you want to add more features, you want to fix any of the error related to your program, of course, we can use this inline editor anytime, right? Rewrite, review, we have more things over here. Check for if reason, check the block, right? We will be able to do these things as well. Now, let's fix this error first of all. Let's fix this error. Fix it. Fixing. Selecting the model automatically. It is running. It is accepted. Okay, fine. This is getting created now. File has been created. Now, what I just want to do actually, now I will open a different folder here. I'll open the other folder. This is a project that I have. Okay. Second project I'm just about to understand, right? What I just want to do, imagine that you are just creating a new project and I need the complete documentation of this project as well. A markdown README file. You might have most of the time whenever you want to create a new project so that the other people will be able to understand what is the functionality your project is having, how this project can be triggered, what are the documentation dependencies, libraries that it is using. I would like to create that documentation as well. So the GitHub Copilot is having the option that you will be able to do that, right? What I can do, again, we have a project currently, some file, some program.cs file is there, right? Some definition is there. What I just want, okay, use my current workspace. So workspace I will be using. What I just want to do, I just say, okay, help me to document my project. So I'll say document my project. So I'm just asking this prompt to my GitHub Copilot to ensure, even though this is the typo here, but don't worry because it is the generative AI, these type of things it can usually handle with the help of its own tokenization technique that it uses, right? So what it is about to do, it is about to create the documentation for me. Line number 1 to 40, it is just reading, right? Looking into your CS project as well. What are the other dependencies that you have? Right. Oh, did I selected this one? Oh, I mentioned my workspace. Yeah. So workspace should be considered while talking about these dependencies, right? Currently just creating the documentation, analyzing how the documentation can be created for my project. After this, what we'll be able to do actually, we'll see how it is helping me to check for any of the dependencies as well. So I can just say, okay, let's not only read these CS file that I'm having. I just want to know about all the dependencies that my project is using. So if I'll just go into this CS project file, so it is using CIoT device bidding is there, device GPIO is there, Azure device shared client, and the JSON. These are my dependencies. So if you want that it should create a list of the dependencies as well, what dependencies that we are using, right? We should be able to check for those dependencies as well. So project documentation has been created as a README. It includes your overview, feature, setup instruction, uses, file structure, your cheesecake.net device application. Let me know if you want to add more details in this section, right? Agent mode. No, I'll use the ask mode because agent will consume more. Okay. So this README has been created. I will just see it in the overview. See, documentation, overview, the project, cheesecake.net device application, features, what it is doing, technology that it is using, how to start, the prerequisite, how to set up your instructions to start using it, uses, what it is doing, right? Structure, this is your file. Now I will say not only this one, I would like to create or I would like to include the dependency as well, right? So I just want to know about my dependencies. I'll say, okay, use this workspace once again, right? And what I just want to do, I just want to include the dependency. So I'll say document the project dependencies, right? So I just want to include the dependencies in my project as well. So see, project dependencies, project relies on this one. If you need to add more detailed explanation to how the dependency worked in the use, you will be able to do that. All right. Now, if you want that it should create a complete rewrite this entire within your README file as well. So I'll say include these dependencies in the README, right? So I'm just asking to include this into my README, right? See, because it is a chat mode, it is not doing. It is just saying you will be able to do, right? You can place this in the action, copy paste. I want this to do agent. Now what I will do? Now I will ask my question. See the difference. Use this same prompt, but to the agent. See how it behaves differently. Providing you the things that how you will be able to do it. But when you're using an agent mode, see, it is added. So you will be able to easily notice the difference between your agent and your ask mode as well, right? Create dependency and it is going to be included. See, everything is there inside your structure, right? So class, I hope that it is going good so far. you are able to explore some new features. Might be this is the first time you are doing, and might be you are already using the GitHub Copilot in your environment as well, right? We will just look into the more capabilities of your GitHub Copilot environment as well, right? So the idea is like, let's see, I would like to take the benefit of the auto completion within my GitHub environment as well. Again, I can just work with any of my projects that we have created as a sample application. We have something into the QA. Okay. Does the chat commands are common for every other workspace or it's dynamic? The commands. Okay, you are just talking about these commands. They depends on whether you're using a chat mode or whether you're using the agent mode, right? So see, this is agent mode at the rate compact explains. See, sometimes it is getting different. If you're using that the rate by including the different extensions as well, you will be able to notice it. And if I'll be using some ask mode, so it works differently. Sometimes might be same, sometimes it might be different, right? It only depends whether this can be done by the agent or it is mostly for the ask, right? In the agent, you might notice that there are less number of commands, but the ask will have most of the commands available, right? Okay, one more thing. Over your environment, yeah, never mind. Over your environment, if you just look into the bottom, right? See, we have the local. And in this local environment, we are currently using things that are running on your local computer. I can use the Copilot CLI, or I will be able to use the cloud environment as well. Somebody asked this question is what is the impact over there? The last question is there, right? Changes in the GitHub. Because currently the session is created on a local computer. So that's why you won't be able to see anything that is happening within this one. But if you're using a cloud, what is going to be happen basically? Whatever the interaction you will do, it is going to be synced inside your GitHub Copilot environment as well within the browser. So if you want to synchronize it, you want to take care of your all the chat at a one single place, not on the local, because sometimes might it happens. But at that time, make sure that your repository is also there in the cloud, not you're not working with the local uh, folder or the directory as well. Then it will be helpful. Sometime if you're working on a local computer, your project is on a local computer, so better to use this local as a tool to interact with this one, right? That you will be able to do. Now, there are other things that we will be able to create, like we just talked about how to connect, create these dependency, generate the code from here. But when you're writing this program, let me just go and open this one. I'll say I'm here into this program. Now, sometimes it might be just I need the documentation within the program itself. What we should be able to do then, right? How we will be able to perform it, right? Then in that case, what we can do, just select any of your method. I'm just saying, right? And I can open the inline chat over here. So if I just use this option, there are few things that are available, right? But I can use this inline chat using the control I option. See, the control I will help me to get the inline chat facility within your program. Now, by using what is the shortcut? Control I, right? I'll just put it over here, right? This is required in case I want to interact within the file itself, not by using the chat window. Let me close this time. I am here in my code, and I just need to not only checking for this code explanation and all, I would like to do something different, right? Control I, what I just want to do, right? I can now ask anything. I would like to generate the documentation from here, right? I'm looking for the doc. Okay, say doc. Add the documentation, select the doc. Now, what is going to do? It is about to document this one from here only. See, documentation is there. Continuous monitoring, sensor condition, remarks. This method run in the infinite loop, right? Reading the temperature, humidity, and so on. Documentation content has been added, right? I just want to add some more functionality. Yeah, use this inline chat. Now, your VS Code, once the GitHub Copilot is installed for you, what it is going to provide you, it is provide you and give you the features called as your auto completion as well. It will help you to write the code for you as well, right? It can automatically suggest you the type of the method, the name of the method, right? The type of the functionality that you would like to integrate. It is having the capability to write it, right? Like simple example, I'll say I'm here right now. I'll say I will just type private here, writing the private. I just type the private and look into the suggestion that it is going to provide me. This is the suggestion. It is understanding the current context of your code, the code that is above this section and the code that is below this section. And it understand actually what this entire piece of code is doing. And now as soon as I'm just writing a private, so it is assuming that you would like to create a new function from here. So if you would like to create a new function from here, so what it is going to do, it is suggesting that static method set the fan state based on the condition. This method need to be created. Sometime you will get multiple suggestions as well. This is a current one suggestion. If you want to accept, use the tab key and your method will be accepted. So a new method functionality has been created. Might be this is what you are looking for. But of course, if you are not looking for, what you can do, you can just say private static. I just say I'll be creating a task actually, right? And then it is saying this is the type of the task that you will be able to create. See, uh-uh, I can use the tab and I can accept it. If you want to create a variable, again, you keep on writing and it is keep on providing and giving you the suggestion based on the context it understand. Is GitHub FedRAMP approved? I'm not getting it. Yes, the recording will be available. I'm not getting this one. Yes, workspace setting is there for your extension so that you will be able to disable it. One is the disable of your GitHub suggestion, and second, the suggestions of your the VS Code, right? If you want. So you don't need to accept it, first of all. If let's say that I don't want to use this one, I'll just undo it. Okay. So you don't need to accept it. Don't use the tab key. Keep on typing. I'll say I'm just writing something new, right? So it's keep on, it is not providing a suggestion. If you are not using the tab key, you keep on working, right? No need to accept it, right? How to check how many tokens that have used for the prompt or peer chat session after completing the task? Yes, of course, that is there. If you'll just see, now it is just allowing me to just these type of suggestions are there. I'll just uncheck it. The model that I have selected is 4.1 consumption 0x, right? How I will be able to know that, right? Open this, the chat window once again, Control Shift I, see at the bottom, right? In this current context window, it says like I have 128 tokens and it has just consumed 27 right now. K, right? That's very important. So 128K tokens are there. I have consumed 21. Once it will reach to the limit, right? What we will be able to do, it is having the inbuilt capacity that it can just compact your conversation, right? And when we say compacting your conversation, that means it will just like do an archive for this one, and that you will be able to start working on this and you will be able to consume the next credit that is available in your account, right? Few things, you have this section available telling you your MCP, you have this setting, and if you want to see the overall consumption show so far, not for this particular context window, this is for the current context like I have opened this one for today's demonstration. So that is my consumption. But if you want to know about your overall consumption of your GitHub, then see there is a below button, GitHub, that it is just telling you about the overall consumption that you have. Inline, chat messages, premium request, for the month, actually, the paid from my paid subscription, how much I have used. So I have consumed 47% of my premium request with complex functionality, right? Ah, all right. Actually, I didn't use that, so that's the reason that I'm just asking, right? How you will be able to use it. So, idea how you will be able to implement this one, I need to check it out. Frankly, guys, I don't have. And please excuse me if I don't pronounce your name, because for me, it is just the GUID that is for me. So I don't know actually who's asking these questions. So I won't be able to name you, right? But I don't have any idea about this FedRAMP authorization, right? Never used it. Yeah. Okay. So this is about like using your inline code editing within your GitHub Copilot environment. Somebody asked this question about like disabling the auto suggestion for you, how you will be able to do that. To do this one, what you can do, you have to launch the settings within your the VS Code environment. You see over extreme left, there is always a manage section. So this pencil icon is basically for writing something over here. Let me just put it somewhere else. Here it is fine. Okay, you have the settings over there, right? From here, you can go to your extensions, right? If you want to disable the setting of your the GitHub Copilot only, go to the extension, right? Uh, not here. The settings of the extensions, right? Settings and your extensions. Which extension? GitHub Copilot. See, GitHub Copilot Chat. Then you will be able to see automatically fix the diagnose when it is disabled, the maximum length, what it can do. So you can enable, disable the features of your GitHub Copilot Chat or any of the other extension as well. One more time, it is inside the manage section. Go to the settings and choose the extensions from here. So from here, you can enable, disable any of the features from here. What is the token reset after a full consumption? Monthly like cursor or daily, weekly? Now it is a monthly, right? In this case, if you'll see, uh, there are two type of things. If I'll just consuming my premium request, it is for the entire month, because you might have noticed it when I shared the plan with you, right? Token consumption is on the daily basis. But if you're used talking about your premium request, complex logic, that is for the entire month. If I'll say I will be consuming this 100% in next 2 days, then I have to just wait for my billing cycle to restart once again from the next first of the next month, May. Then only I will be able to use my premium request. But any of the basic functionality for my GitHub will always available with me. Every day it is going to be reset. So it is daily and premium request is monthly basis, right? Okay, right. So that we have now, we will be able to do a lot of things. We will talk about the auto completion one more time. We will just talk about like how to interact with this chat in case you want to write this program into other programming language. Say, I would like to get it converted as well, right? I just want to see how to improve the code quality of the code that is getting generated from here. You would like to say implementing the unit testing for your program, how you will be able to create it. So that is on the other side of our program. So what we'll be doing, we'll just take a quick break for 15 minutes of time. And once we are back after the break, I'll just explain you a couple of more things, the capabilities of your GitHub Copilot environment, what other things that you will be able to achieve it. And then we'll discuss and we'll just take your the questions as well, right? I hope it works for all of you. So we'll just take a quick break for 15 minutes, classmates, and we'll be jumping back once again in 15 minutes. So enjoy your tea, coffee, and let's get back in 15 minutes then. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll be waiting for you in 15 minutes then. Hello, everyone, and welcome back after a short break. Please show your presence so that we can start looking into some more capabilities of the GitHub Copilot environment. So I'm assuming that everybody's here. Hey, hi, Tommy. Yeah, I can see a few names. Ah, at least Tommy is here. One name I can see. All right. So, class, before the break, we discussed about doing some code completion by taking the benefit of the GitHub Copilot environment. Into the continuation of the same concept, like how to use this code completion within your environment, right? What we can do, wherever you want to generate a new code, we'll just talk about the inline code, right? I just need to generate some piece of code over here. Okay. So I'll just come here and say some code need to be generated. So what I can do, Control I, inline code editor that I will be adding. Mhm. Something wrong with this. What went wrong? Let me close it. I'll use a different one. Mm, okay, I'm using one of this folder here. Some program console-based app is there. I'll just come. Yeah, I don't know why, but Copilot has been crashed. When I'm just trying to use the control I, it is just providing me the suggestions directly from the VS Code, but not from the GitHub code environment. What I can do from here, I can write my instructions, what I'm just looking for. This time, I'm not using this doc, edit, fix, generate to perform some action or creating a plan from here or creating a test that is upcoming thing. But I just want that I will be able to ask to create a new functionality with this one. But I don't know actually what this code is all about. So first, what I will do, I'll just say explain the, or even though you can simply use the explain only. So it will help me to explain the entire piece of the code. First of all, what this code is all about, summary, field, what it is doing. This explanation is there. I'll keep this one so that I can take this reference, and in case I just need to make any changes into the program, I will be able to do. So it says like quarterly income report, class generated. This class simulates a retail sale reporting system, sales structure representation, generate 1000 random sales record with this one, generate and display a comprehensive quarterly sales report, output is stored in the quarter and department name, right? So it is just explaining what this entire program is doing. Now we can just take the reference of this piece of code, and what we can do, I can just ask like do some more program or write some new functionality over here. So control I, code generation is there. I can say I want to calculate the yearly sales, create a function for this. I'm just writing something. I have to review the entire piece of code so that I will be able to create. But I'm just asking, okay, help me to just do create a function. So see, it is creating. Calculate yearly sales, sales data, year, sales data, reading all the years from here, and it is just going to return you the sales data from here. That has to be done again. That we need to regenerate. It is not updating that piece. We have to say update the explain or just do again recall the explain once again, because it is not going to, because that was generated. This is written, hard coded. That will not get updated automatically. So it has to be done once again, right? So that you will be able to do. Along with this one, if you want to update any of the functionality related to your program, because the program is there, right? And if I just say this is the product department interacting with these different department, and I just want to add some more departments over here. So I'll just select this piece of code, right? I can call this inline chat over here, right? And what I'm about to do, add more departments, not fix the code error over here. I'll say add more departments, department names. So I'm just looking for more departments in the department name. So it will just based on my input, it will just help me to get more department names, more abbreviations as well. So it is just creating. We can just review the code. See, new more things has been added. After the undergarments, the active wear, formal wear, casual wear, swim wear, these things has been added. So you will be able to accept and add these type of the modifications as well. Inline code editing. That's the power of your GitHub Copilot that you will be able to explore, right? So this way you can interact with your code within the code window. You want to, let's say you're getting some error over here. Just introduce some error. Something goes wrong, right? Go to this section that where you are right now. Select this piece of code and say, help me to fix that you already seen, right? Or select the piece of the code, right, that you will be able to use. Okay, okay. I hope you have enjoyed the previous one, the PL7008. All right. So what I can do here, use this Copilot and help me to fix the error as well. So this will help me to fix any of the functionality, the error that your code is generating, right? So the call will help you to get it fixed related to your recording issues, guys. Okay, so it is getting fixed for me. So that's the capability that you will be able to see from here. Now what I will do, I'll just show you a couple of more things here. This time I will use some program from some Python code I just want. Yeah, is this the one? No, I need a different one here. Yeah, here we go. Python code. So I'm about to interact with some Python. Primary, you might have noticed we are working with the C sharp as our primary language, right? That we are doing. This is the README, and we have this source file. And within this source file, we have this main.python file. So the Python code is there. Okay. Now, if you have this code available in the Python, but you are into, no, we are not talking about code review. We will just talk. Of course, that will be there, but not about creating your MCP, guys. Not the part, right? So you can just look for our catalog. We'll be having the separate program and the webinar as well. That is planned for the coming days, right? Yeah, that's there. Okay. Now, let's imagine that you are working for your enterprise and there are few developers who are just working with the other technologies, and that is not your stack actually. But we would like to say, okay, if some code is there, I'm working with a different programming stack and I just want to convert that piece of code as well. What should we be able to do then? Then use this one, right? Select any of the piece of the code that you want. Okay. I'd say go to the inline chat and say convert this code to C sharp. Let's say you are into C sharp right now. So what it is going to help you? It will help you to convert the piece of the code as well. See, created class, definition, class. And not only this, it is just writing the entire piece. If you want to make only a specific piece. See, it is writing the entire code, generating the entire piece of the code. Are we looking for this one? No, I'm not looking for the entire code. I'll go to the top and I'll say, I don't accept it, undo. I'm not looking for the entire piece of code. I'm just looking for this selection only. Launch it. Convert hash. Use selection, right? So we have the selection that you will be able to do C sharp. So in this case, what it is about to do, it is about to convert only the selected piece of code into the programming. So this is the equivalent code. What is written over there? This is the equivalent. But if you are not using that selection, using the hash, right, the tag, of course, it is going to convert your entire piece of code into the different type of the programming language. Currently, it is in, let's say, it is in .NET, but you want to make into, let's say, into Java. So I'll say convert once again hash selection to Java, right? Scala, R, React, whatever is you need. So similar code, similar to C sharp that you have seen, some small changes into the syntax, right? That you will be able to do it. Now you can just take this code and you will be able to write into a new file, or you can just see, use this chat window. We can use this ask mode, right? And I can say convert this code to, excuse me, to C sharp, right? Now it is using this main.python, right? And now because it is an ask mode, it will write, not write, it will generate a separate file for me. See, because in an ask mode, it will just generate, but it will ask me to do the job uh, at your own. It is not going to do the job on behalf of me because it is the ask mode. So it has generated the code for me, right? Still generating, writing the code because we are using 4.1, slow, but doing the right job for me that you will be able to do. So this way, some piece of code, entire piece of code, separate code with inline code, using the chat, using the ask mode, a separate file will be generated. And once this code is getting generated, you will be having the option to copy this code over from here within the editor, or copy the code from here and create a new file and use that, right? That is what you will be able to do. Now, code can be converted into the other programming languages as well. And now let's say that we are having some code available, right? And somebody asked me about what about the code reviews? How you will be able to do that? So yes, of course, we have the option that you will be able to review your code. You will be able to, it's all about your prompts. Remember, it's all about your prompts that you will be using. So whether you're just talking about your reliability, your performance, your security, your usability, your portability, right? All these things that need to be integrated. So it's all about the prompt that need to be defined. So you will be defining these prompts, and with the help of these prompts, you will be able to get to know about all these things. So what I will do, I'll use a different program here, right? Like there is a bank account program that I have, right? All right. I'm not going to save this one, right? So I have this bank account. This is the README text file. Text file, we can generate the code. So we are having this program.cs file is there, right? Now, what I can do, I can just take the benefit of this, the chat window from here. And with the help of this chat environment, what I will be able to do, I will be able to ask this, the Copilot, to do a lot of things for me. Like I want to know about how to improve the code efficiency, about the readability of my code, how to improve the maintainability of my code, right? If you just want to handle the reliability of your code, how these things can be integrated. So it's all about the prompt that need to be introduced, right? So what I'm about to do is like I'll just perform a couple of things from here. First, let me close this program.cs file. I will be using my workspace as a reference. Then I will use a combination of explain. Explain will help me to combine, like use my current workspace, do the explanation, and help me to understand how these things can be implemented, right? Or other option is like what I can do actually. I can go to the program. I can select the piece of the code, right? Where I just want to apply any readability, mintability, right? In your code environment, you want to introduce the modularity, you want to understand how it can be implemented. So we can select the piece of the code as well. Then we can just say get your prompt here. So either entire program, entire file with your workspace, or I can go into the program also and I will be able to select some piece of the code and we will be able to start improving that, right? So depends. If you want to refactor it, you will be able to do that. So what I will do, I have this main method available, right? This is created till here. This is my main method, but we are having a no, this the main is starting from here, and this is the entire main that we have. Okay, let's say that this is the method. Let's take the small one. Let's take the small one. Main method is the bigger one actually, right? Let's take this small one. Now I can just come here, not asking you to do any type of these things. I'll say explain. What I just want to explain, I just need to ask it, right? So I can say, how can I improve the readability of the selected code, right? I'm just asking this question, right? So let's see how it just improve it, what suggestion it is going to provide me. See, we can just use this way, introducing few more things to make it more readable, right? If you want to try something different, we can say, okay, I would like to see how we will be able to improve the maintainability of my program. Or I'll say how you will be able to improve the modularity of your program. Or I'll say how I will be able to refactor this code, right? I can ask this question. I'm not accepting it. I'm just selecting this piece of code once again. I'll say inline chat, not again. This is explain. How do I refactor the selected code, right? So you will be able to know about this one. The refactoring is done, right? It is helping you to introduce it. If you want to only explain, you want to make it based on this, so there are different ways. Either you write a selected code or use that has selection as well, selecting the code and do ask this question. Now, if you just want to say, okay, I want to improve the modularity of my program, how I will be able to do that? So now you can use the same question once again, right? Select your code or the entire as well, entire file. If you need to do this for entire file, no need to select the file. Open chat window, open the file context, edit, right? Then explain how to improve the modularity of the code. So let's not use this file for the modularity, right? I'll say, come here, let's use the main file, that is the bank file here. Bank accounts dot this one. How you will be able to improve the modularity, right? So it says like bank file, yeah, select, oh, it has been selected, not selected, not selecting the code actually. Entire piece of code, entire program. You plan to add more account types to behavior, consider interfaces, Directly exposing the properties like this can break the encapsulation. Consider making setter private, right? You will be introducing the modularity in your program, right? And if you want to simplify it, right, then also you will be able to do that. So we can say, okay, use this explain once again, right? So we can say, what are the some options for simplifying this code from the app only, right? How you'll be able to simplify again, not the selection actually, not the selection. I want to check for the entire piece of code. See, use specific exception type, use this way of introducing it, right? That you will be able to easily improve it. We can do a few more things as well. Avoid putting too much logic into the print statement. If you add more features like exporting statement, consider using a separate one that you will be able to do that, right? So all these things, the best practices that you might be following in your the development environment as well, we can ask this to perform these activities in this piece of the code as well, right? Now we have some piece of code over there. Only logic is there. There is no exception handling. There is no exception handling. So I'll say, okay, I can just say how to, what should I do? Uh, Improve the exception handling. So I'll say, how can I improve the, even though that is not there, right? How to improve the exception handling? You have not provided the code from this one. So this is a complete code. Example. Now I just want to introduce it, right? So don't use exception for formal control. This one, it says like you'll be able to do. I'll just select my code, go here and say, if you want to apply it, all code, not select, apply exception handling in the code. So exception handling need to be introduced. Now what it is about to do, because it is an agent mode, so it is about to rewrite your program with the exception handling within your code. See, introducing, adding, adding, argument null exception, out of range exception, invalid operations, invalid operations. It is keep on adding, right? So you will be able to add this exception handling as well, right? If you feel like that you will be creating some strongest point, like if you are getting some errors in your code and you want to create a plan that these type of errors should not be occur in your program in the future as well, so select up the piece of the code that will be very prone to the errors. So you can ask the Copilot, okay, yes, undo it. So you can ask the Copilot like how I will be able to avoid the featured bugs or the issues in any of the code over there. So I can just say again the explain, right? How we can avoid the errors or bugs in the future for the code. So it will just look into the code, the common issues that it might have that it is going to use. Oh, my MS SQL, my bad. Yes, we can. Of course, we'll be able to do that. Wrong prompt has been there. MS SQL is introduced. So I just need to stop it. We can do that, guys. Even though you can ask it to create an MCP for you, it will help you to do that, right? Again, not selecting a piece of the code, doing it for the entire. Some these are possible. No limitation at all. We can minify the code. We can create it as a library, right? It will help you to do that, right? For the MCP as well, that you will be able to create. See, it is going to provide you all these inputs as well. And if you're having some, let's say, you are having some unit cases, right? You have some unit test that is getting created, or you want to create the unit test over here by taking the advantage of the GitHub Copilot environment. So yes, of course, it is having the capability that you will be able to. Yeah, of course, because when you say in a current session, right, you are just minifying it, right? It understands the context because it is maintaining a complete session over here, and that session information is persistent. It is saving that session information. And whenever you ask any questions related to this one, you will prompt for something information. It will use that entire session information until you delete or archive that. It is there in the memory that you will be able to play with that, right? So you will be using that context information. It will remain there. Okay. All right. Now we have this one. Let me just put it over there. Okay, that we have. Now we have some test cases. If you want to create the new unit tests for you, it should write some method for you. Of course, you have the option that you will be able to create these unit tests for you. Come here, go to the chat window, Control Alt I option, right? That you will be able to use. Control Shift I will also work, right? And I'm here right now. And if I just want to create some unit test from here, I can just add, right? I can just open any of your methods that are available and I can select, okay, create a unit test for me by using this selection. So based on this method, it will help you to create the unit test, right? What I'm about to do, I'll be using a different example here, different methods here. Hmm, here is for the unit testing, right? So we have some method over here. I just want that we should be able to create some new unit test for this one using some specific framework. It will help me to do that because it is a .NET platform. So if you would like to use, let's say, DAX unit framework, so you can just ask it. So I'll say, okay, we just made this selection from here. I'll use this inline code editor. I'll say, create the unit test for this method by using the XUnit framework, right? So it will help me to create the unit test based on the method that I have selected. See, writing the new unit test for you. See, here we go. Is prime, assert, inline, data, 3, 5, putting some values to test whether this is prime or not, right? You can just save it and you will be able to play it, right? So that is how the unit testing can be integrated. We can just do more things by using and working with the different type of the platform and the technology sets as well. That is also doable that we can perform it, right? And in case you would like to say that I will interact with some piece of code, let me use a different screen here, different functions here. So we have something in my account, right? So I'm using a different method. Let me not save it, right? Ideas like how to check and implement some security in your programs as well, right? In this case, what we'll be having, we are having some bank account related project here because now it's a bank account related project. So might be you are looking for some implementation in terms of the security as well, like how to do the authentication here, how you will be able to protect your sensitive data, how you will be able to log some suspicious activities from the user, right? How you will be able to improve the security of your code as well, in terms of your exception handling as well, how these things can be easily integrated. So what we can do, we can again take the benefit of your the window, either you select the entire piece of code or a specific set of the piece of the code over here, or you can use this the chat window as well. So guys, again, depends what is my requirement. If I have opened this bank account.cs, context has been added that this is my current file context. Now I can just ask, okay, use this explain. Using this explain, I will be able to do, right? How can I implement the authentication uh, in the code? How it is going to be implemented? I can just ask it. Some code has been selected. If you want to go with this one or entire code, or just click outside. If outside, entire piece. Add user credentials, step-by-step approach. Example piece of code. You want to introduce this one. Example uses as well. That is there. Creating a method, bank account, account number, username, password, authentication mechanism is there that you will be able to introduce it, right? See? Of course. So what it is saying in the real app, store a hash, not the plain text. Of course, not recommended, and we should not use as well, right? But because it is just a uh, writing currently, because we have to test and verify, so it is just saying, okay, we can just go with this type of the approach as well. Now, because this is the bank related application, banking related things that need to be created. So I can just use few more things here. Like I'll say explain what I just want to handle. I'll say how I can uh, protect sensitive information. Like we are just talking about the password, right? In the code, right? Let's say check for my entire code. Just help me to see how it is going to be implemented. So it is just looking for what is there already in your program. See, plain text password. Always use the hash and the salt password. Use secure libraries like bcrypt and pbkdf2. Limit your sensitive data exposures from your account number, right? In your print statement method, mask the account number so that it should not be available to your users. Nobody can see this account information. So the masking can be applied, right? Based on restrict access to your user, like this method should not be available. Secure your exception manager. Environment variable should be utilized to store your connection information. Auditing should be enabled so that you will be able to log that information as well. So all these things can be integrated. Again, not limited to this one. As I just mentioned, I can just do more here. I'll say, okay, let's do. How can I uh, log in the suspicious activities, right, of the code? So, of course, it is just going to provide me the option, add a logger, log suspicious event, and sample piece of code is there. How you will be able to log it. So guys, it's all about the prompt, the techniques, how much familiar you are. Yeah, of course, there are multiple commands. Like, see, you want to compact your entire conversation. Explain, fix, you want to create something new notebook need to be created, new test need to be created. You want to create the test cases. It is setting up your test based on the different type of the framework. Test will be created, and then rest of the things, these are all related to the Copilot that you see, all these, but rest of the things are related to your specific extensions, right? Where you see there is nothing at the end, they are GitHub Copilot. But when you will see this, because I have the Azure extension over there, so these are the Azure things. Later on, I have MS SQL things. Then I have the terminal things, right? So then rest of the things are very specific towards the platform or the extension that you have installed. But these are the common things that are available. Same is the case with your the other code as well, right? So it is not all about that it is related to your the features that your GitHub Copilot is providing. It is having only few, like you will be able to work with your the workspaces, right? You will be able to add any of your the code. See, the complex explain is already there, right? No, 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 no. Then you will be able to interact. So you will be having your workspace, your selection. These are the things. Rest of the things are very specific towards your extensions that are available in your environment, right? So only few, couple of six, seven, these commands are there that you will be able to use it like this way. Okay, so that's there. Now, if you just want to get more, you want to improve the security of your code, you can just add that as well. So I'll say, okay, help me to see, explain me how to improve the security of the code, right? It is gonna help me to get. Yes, of course, right? That I will be able to do that. But currently, the functionality that I have that we require a Git on the local computer. That is one requirement. We must be having the repository created inside your the GitHub environment as well. That is second thing that you will be able to do. Then you will be able to use this source control option from here. And from this source control option, because it is just a local project right now, I'll say publish to the GitHub. So first go to the GitHub, create a project. This is using this option right now. So what it is just saying, we can create a project name as APL's 2007 MS Bank account security, and we will be able to deploy this code or create a new branch and put your code inside this one. If you feel like this is good, right? This is what we are just looking for. Select this repository. What code you want to deploy, all these things. This only work in case you are already logged in, right? And you have the permission to create your Git, even though you are using the GitHub Copilot, so you must have the permissions, but sometimes it might be having the Copilot only, unless you are using your personal account. So I'll say all these things, say go to this one. So it is just publishing this to your GitHub. See, creating a first commit at the bottom. Now you see the changes has been opened. Now you just need to create a message, right? Like what is your first commit? What I'll say, I'll be using this Copilot within this one. So this Copilot will generate a message automatically for me based on the type of the functionality that we have created. Then we will be able to push. It has been done actually. I click the double hit from here and the things has been deployed. Now I will just go here. I'll go to this repositories, right? And now we are expecting, see, APL 2007 M5 bank account activity has been created right now. And whatever you have written, it is there inside your branch. So currently the things are running inside your main branch. Now it depends on where you want to publish your changes, right? So it's very easy from your Git. So the tool Git is there. It should be there on your computer. GitHub is fine to interact with the GitHub, but the branching on your local computer only help work in case you are having the Git installed on your computer. So the Git followed by the GitHub with the permissions in your environment. Then the code will be there inside your repository system. Okay. So I think we just talked a lot in terms of the capabilities of the Copilot, right? Where we talk about how to install these extension, different type of plans that you can explore the link that I have shared with you. You must use your personal or your enterprise account to interact with that, right? We talked about how you will be able to understand your code by using the explanation. We discussed about how you will be able to create the documentation by using documentation within the code or the entire documentation for your entire project as well. We discussed about the different type of the modes that we have: planning your project, plan mode; one-to-one interaction, where it will just guide you to perform certain actions. So you will be doing, it is just guiding you. Ask mode. But if you want that it should be doing all these things in an automatic mode in the background, so we are having the agent mode that you will be able to utilize it. And you will be able to use this chat section to perform the planning, action, agent, asking mode. But along with this, you are having the inline editing as well. And with the help of inline editing, you will be able to understand some piece of code. You will be able to generate the documentation for your code. You will be able to fix the error for this one. You will be able to refactor your code as well. You might have seen the inbuilt things are there. If I'm selecting this one, I'll say get my inline editor, or click on this icon. So you say, see, modify or review the code from here. So it will just do the review of this particular piece of the code as well. Inline facility is there. You have your chat window as well. But along with this one, if you are more into the command line things, right, then we are having the GitHub Copilot CLI as well. So you can just use the CLI tool as well. But for that one, the Copilot CLI has to be installed. That has to be integrated with your PowerShell so that you will be able to utilize it. So we can generate the code, we can review the code, we will be able to take the benefit of the auto completion as well. You might have seen when we are just writing something, right, in your program, it give me the suggestions as well. Like I'll just go here and close this chat. I don't need this one, right? It is just providing me discard and go to the next because it is reviewing it. Okay. So you just come here, you keep on typing, right? And based on the context information that it found, it is providing you some the auto completion as well. So you can take the benefit of this automatic code completion in your program as well if it is required. If you want to write your own method, don't hit the tab key, keep on writing something new from here, and you will be able to start using it like something like this, right? So tab will help you to accept it. Sometimes what it do basically, it generate multiple suggestions as well. Then it will give you the option to use your arrow key. One, two option will be there that it will use. So you can just explore which is the right option you want to select, and accordingly, those changes will be accepted in your code as well, right? We talked about how you will be able to convert your code into the different programming languages. We just talked about we will be having the option that how you will be able to optimize your code, refactor, readability, implementing the security, handling your exceptions that you will be able to introduce in your program as well. This is something. So of course, the unit testing can easily be created. Go to the code, select your program, use the agent mode, use the inline editor so that the unit testing can be created. Select the right type of the framework that you would like to take. So these are the things that are available. And for the security also, we discussed about how you will be able to write a secure code. We just talked about the different type of the methods that can be integrated. Before that, you can always use this explain to just say how it can be done. So it will just help you that it by using this explain, what it will do basically, it would understand the current context from your code, and then it will suggest you that how the next thing can be integrated and it can be implemented, right? So that's about in terms of the presentation that we have for the GitHub Copilot, the AZ2007, that is accelerating your development by taking the benefit of your GitHub Copilot environment. So class, now I'll just take some time to handle your Q&A. So if I missed any of the questions, right, from QA session or from the chat window, so I just request you to please rephrase your question for me so that I will be able to answer these questions, right? If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, because I think this is the overall big picture of your GitHub Copilot environment. Now depends on your use cases, the need of the organization, your project for the enterprise. We can customize and we will be able to start integrating your GitHub Copilot in your system, right? I'll just wait for any of your questions, right? I'll just keep on looking into this chat window as well. Meanwhile, Carl has put a feedback link as well. So class, if you feel like that somehow this session helps you to understand about some concepts related to the GitHub environment, GitHub Copilot especially, please share your feedback. Link is there in the chat, right? Share your valuable feedback. This will help us to plan our next future things and to improve how we can improve the things into the future as well, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm using the IntelliJ IDE, yes, to develop Springboard cloud native application. Is there any limitation compared to VS Code, GitHub Copilot capabilities? No, there is nothing because um, you will be having the similar type of functionality. Why VS Code? As I just told you, because your IntelliJ is very specific towards your the technology stack that you're using, like the Java, right? Because I'm not into that domain, that IntelliJ part, that is not domain. I'm more into the .NET platform. So I'm assuming that you will be having uh, the IntelliJ for your Java-based development, but there is no, you can say there is no limitation in terms of the features that you will be getting while you're using the IntelliJ because extension, because there also you will be having an extension or a library, you can say, for the Copilot. So the same functionality is replicated within that. Just IDE will be different, but the feature will remain same, right? That's a good question. How to use the agent 70 file and the agent skills as well, right? So you can always use your prompt engineering to update it, right? So we can just ask like what agent it is going to be generated for me. If you're just creating your MCP to enhance that functionality, you will be able to do that, right? So agent skills, of course, you won't be able to do directly over there because in this case we have the trained thing. We are not creating an agent over here. Those skills will come only into the picture when you are trying to create your own agent, and that agent new capabilities that you want to introduce, what it can do, that you will be able to do that, right? So what is the code to get the credit? Yes, of course, this code has been shared earlier as well, and code is there at the end of the URL that has been shared by the car in the previous chat. YKZ6D, right? So this is a code that you can use to claim it, right? Okay. I'll just wait for your questions, guys. Feel free to let me know if you have more questions, right? I'm just waiting for your inputs, your thoughts. So how you feel like, right? Did you get any the benefit of spending these 2.5 hours so far? Yeah, it was an add-on for you, or you think like it is just a wastage of the time? Please feel free to share your valuable feedback. Link is there in the chat. Okay. So, Carl, I don't think that we are getting any questions here, even though we are just waiting, but feels like there is no question so far.